You're holding a rock, black, glassy, sharp enough to slice skin before you even feel it. You didn't shape it. You found it near a volcano. This is obsidian, and roughly 700,000 years ago, at a site in Kenya, an early human ancestor picked up a piece just like it and used it as a cutting tool. That's the first time a human ever touched glass. Nature had been making glass for billions of years before anyone learned to. Lightning fuses sand into hollow glass tubes. Meteor strikes melt entire desert floors into crystal sheets. Volcanoes cool into obsidian. Glass was everywhere. And for hundreds of thousands of years, humans used it without knowing what it actually was, or that they could make it themselves. Here's the myth to clear up first. Glass is not a slow-moving liquid. You've probably heard that old cathedral windows are thicker at the bottom, because the glass flowed over centuries. A physicist ran the math in 1998 and found it would take longer than the age of the universe for that to happen. The real explanation is boring. Medieval glassmakers spun glass into uneven discs, and installers just put the heavy side down. What glass actually is stranger than that myth. It's an amorphous solid, atoms frozen mid-chaos, never given the chance to line up into a crystal the way ice or metal does. It's a liquid's structure, wearing a solid's rigidity. The core recipe is just sand, silicon dioxide, mixed with a flux to lower its brutal 1,700 degrees Celsius melting point, plus lime to stop it dissolving in rainwater. Ancient glassmakers used natron, a mineral from dried lake beds in Egypt, and landed on a formula: roughly 70% sand, 15% soda, 10% lime. That's basically still the recipe used today. So who invented it? Not who you think. The famous story from the Roman historian Pliny, Venetian traders accidentally making glass by resting cooking pots on natron blocks on a beach, is almost certainly fiction. A beach fire doesn't get remotely hot enough. The real origin is messier. Small glass beads from Mesopotamia and Egypt, dating back over 4,500 years, likely discovered by accident during the production of a glazed ceramic called faience. Someone noticed a glassy residue forming where it shouldn't have and decided to keep it. Chemical analysis has since shown Egypt and Mesopotamia actually developed glassmaking independently, two civilizations stumbling onto the same trick without ever comparing notes. For its first 1,000 years, glass was pure luxury, traded alongside gold and lapis lazuli, complained about in royal letters when the quality wasn't good enough. Excavations at the Egyptian city of Amarna uncovered a 3,400-year-old glass workshop running a genuine two-stage industrial process. And in Tutankhamun's tomb, a sacred scarab turned out to be carved from a totally different kind of glass, a chunk of natural desert glass formed 29 million years ago, almost certainly by a meteor impact, that Egyptian craftsmen simply found beautiful and never understood. For 1,500 years, every glass vessel on Earth was hand-built around a clay core, slow, expensive, one at a time. Then, around 50 BC on the coast of modern Lebanon or Syria, someone put molten glass on a hollow pipe and blew into it. Glassblowing meant a craftsman could make in minutes what used to take hours. And glass went from royal luxury to something an ordinary Roman could buy for a single coin. One glassmaker, Ennion, even signed his work, arguably the first branded product in manufacturing history. The Romans pushed it further, using glass for actual windows for the first time. They also, without knowing it, invented nanotechnology. A Roman cup called the Lycurgus cup changes color depending on how light hits it, because it's laced with gold and silver particles just billionths of a meter wide. Scientists only figured out why in 1990. Centuries later, Venice turned glassmaking into a state secret, forcibly relocating every glassmaker in the city to the island of Murano and banning them from leaving the Republic under threat to their families. It worked. Murano's Angelo Barovier invented the clearest glass the world had ever seen, and Venice dominated the craft for 200 years, until France lured Murano's workers away and built the Hall of Mirrors at Versailles as a kind of victory lap. But the quieter revolution was happening in reading glasses. Invented in Italy around 1286, spectacles gave aging scholars 15 to 20 extra years of reading life. right as the printing press arrived and made reading something everyone suddenly needed to do. Two curved pieces of glass, pointed in different directions, then rewrote science itself. Galileo's telescope revealed Jupiter's moons and broke the idea that everything orbits Earth. A Dutch cloth merchant's homemade microscope lenses let him become the first person to see bacteria. The modern world runs on glass, too. A cracked lab flask in 1903 led to laminated safety glass, now every car windshield. A 1959 process floating molten glass on liquid tin gave us the perfectly flat sheets behind almost every window on the planet. And ultra-pure glass fiber, refined in the 1970s, now carries over 95% of the world's international internet traffic under the ocean floor at the speed of light. Even the glass on your phone has a strange backstory. A scratch-resistant formula Corning developed in 1960, shelved for 45 years, and pulled out of a filing cabinet in 2006 when Steve Jobs needed something tough enough for the first iPhone. Nobody planned any of this. Glass has always been an accident someone noticed, a strange shine in a kiln that a person decided to look closer at instead of scraping away. That single decision, made independently over and over across thousands of years, is the reason you're staring through glass or at glass right now.